Most of us have been told, or at least have heard, that old saying of do what you love and you won't work a day in your life. So many of us did it. We went out, we thought we found what we wanted to do when we grew up. We got the degree, we got the jobs, we've been climbing the ladder, and still feels empty. The truth is, we built our identities around our jobs. And unfortunately, those jobs were not created or meant to carry that kind of weight. And in today's video, we're going to talk about that shift. How did jobs go from being about survival to being about our identity to ultimately leaving us feeling empty and disillusioned? And then most importantly, we'll talk about what to build our lives around so that we can put work in its proper place. The truth is that work has not fulfilled us. And if you are young, there is a really good chance that work will not fulfill you either. We were promised purpose and meaning, community, belonging, and what we've gotten instead has been burnout, layoffs, inconsistent job markets that we can't trust and that we ultimately feel uncomfortable in. We don't have to look very far to think about a tenured employee who has put in the time and the effort, who works hard and has been loyal, only to then be let go in the latest round of layoffs. Think of the other end of the spectrum, the young up-and-coming person who's got their degree, ready to tackle the world, and they got that first job, the excitement, the potential, and then within the first 6 months, they're let go with no real hope of, what are they supposed to do with their lack of experience to get their life back on track. So the question is, how did we get here? It doesn't seem that this has always been the case. It seems as if perhaps things are getting worse now than they were in the past. And so how did it happen? The truth is that over time, culture has shifted. And this cultural shift has impacted the way we work and the way we think about work. In the past, work was about survival. It was about a means to provide for your family, a means to do the work, get the money, and then you can spend your time on the things that are important to you, the things that matter the most. Additionally, jobs in the past were local and stable. Employees were loyal, and they were rewarded with loyalty from their companies. The jobs being local meant you're working in the community that you're a part of. Everything was tied together, and there was a mutual benefit between the employee and the company. People in the past weren't chasing work as a passion project, but rather working so that they could then do the things that they're passionate about outside of work. Then there was a shift towards making work our actual identity and not just a means to provide. And I think this came primarily from the rise of knowledge work. So knowledge work are those jobs that are done in an office. That work can be done all across the country or the world, depending on your job. You're no longer bound to your community. But additionally, with technology, now we have personal branding. And I don't mean just for those who are creating content, but if you have a LinkedIn bio, if you have other job-related boards that you have profiles on there, you are, whether intentionally or not, building a personal brand of some sort. And so things have become more individualized and less community-based. The question of what do you do is the start of most conversations, where in the past it may have just been a part of that conversation. And then companies enjoy this and they lean hard into it with phrasing around culture and family and community, because they know if work becomes your culture, if work becomes your family, if work becomes your community, you're far less likely to want to leave and find those things elsewhere. And all of this has shifted careers into callings, right? So our callings now, when you think of calling, most people think of a job, not their overall purpose in life, but what are they going to do with their lives? And usually that involves a career of sorts. And that's what gets us to where we are today, with the absolute disillusionment of the corporate ladder, the career, the job market. People are over it, and they are starting to see the illusion that has tricked us for so many years. We have economic instability. We have layoffs. We have constant meetings, never-ending pings, and all of it is slowly but surely eating away at the time we have to spend on our lives and is adding to the time we have to spend at work. And here's where most people go off the rails. We all see and understand this shift. We sense it deep down, but we often don't know what to do about it. We don't know how to replace work when work has become our lives. And the truth is that we have to go about fixing this by reordering our focus, changing what we focus on the most, changing what's most important, shifting our priorities around to put work where it belongs. You should center your life on things that endure, things that last longer than just work. Things like your faith, your family, things that are going to go on for generations, even when you're gone. And then you let work support those things. Right? I married 3 little kids. They are my priority. I work so that I can spend time with them. And yes, money is important in that. A good job is important. All of that is true. But at the end of the day, if this job that I have now starts impacting my family life, I will quit tomorrow. Now, I've worked for a long time to get to that point, so I understand early in your career maybe you can't, but that's the way we should focus it. What's most important to you, and then how can your job support those things? Not making everything about work. Start to block out your time. I think people often look at their work schedules, they plan out their work day, and then they try to fit life in when and if they can. It should be the opposite. Yes, you're going to have to work a schedule, but ultimately, you should focus on the things that mean the most. Devote time to that. Even if it doesn't impact your work schedule, but maybe you give up other frivolous things in life that allow you to focus on the right things. And it's this shift that changes everything. When work finally stops being the point of our lives, then we know we finally got it in the right place. And then we're able to free up our minds and our energy to spend that time focused on the things that are most important. Many of us were told that work would fulfill us, and it didn't, because it can't, and it's not going to. When we stop asking work to be our identity, and we start to spend our time and energy on the things that last, that's when we'll find real fulfillment. So I hope this video helped. I hope that you are able to look at your life and to see, are you putting too much stock into your job? Has your job become your identity more than the things that your job should be supporting? And if it has, then look at ways to shift that around and let work simply serve its purpose of supporting those things. If you enjoy this content or you like content like this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.